Hello. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Shami. I recently got accepted into Poznan University Medical Sciences in Poland for medical school, part of the 4-year advanced MD program. And so I promised everybody in my family and some of my friends that I would keep them updated. They also encouraged me to document the process of assimilating here just before, especially in these first couple weeks. And then throughout the process, one, to update them on anything cool that happens, but two, to explain what's going on, what are challenging pieces of the move, and what's rewarding or exciting. I don't know, a little bit of everything. So I got here last Monday. It is now Wednesday, the following week. So I've been here a week and 2 days-ish, if we count it. And a ton has happened, and so I wanted to make sure to make a video really quickly so I don't forget it all. But I'm going to give some information for anybody who... This is less for friends and family and more for anybody who's considering coming here or going abroad, I guess, in general. Realistically, it's more specific to just PUMS, which is PUMS, and that's what they say, and it took me forever to catch on. So PUMS is PUMS, or Poznan University Medical Sciences. So if you're considering coming abroad for medical school, a couple different things. Realistically, one, just be prepared for a lot of change and less of an organized process. And it's not the easiest thing to figure out, really, honestly, any of your answers before you're here. And sometimes it's a little too late for it to be convenient. So just beware. And then that's why you're watching this. So the application process is pretty straightforward. They have it all online on their website. You can see what the requirements are. Some of it's not in the easiest of English to understand, but with some deciphering, you should be fine. So what they do is their application starts a little bit early, but it's for the same year that you're applying in. So whether you're applying in January or, in my case, May, you're still applying for that same calendar year in August, which is different from all the medical schools in America. You would start preparing in May and then submitting in June for the following August. So know that that's totally different, because when I got my acceptance letter, I thought it was for 2020, and lo and behold, it was 3 weeks away, not really 6 weeks. So that's the first piece of it. You can fill out the application. They have help websites you can go, or help emails, I guess, of staff that work in the New York office. So that helps a lot to have somebody to contact. But they'll walk you through some of the steps if you have questions. They're super prompt on responding, at least at that point in that office. So get used to it. But the process is really seamless from them. So if you apply and they like you and you meet the requirements and you feel comfortable, then what will likely happen is they'll invite you for an interview. You can go to different locations, different countries. If you're in the U.S., New York is your easiest option. There's only a couple days that they visit, so check the website for those dates and block them early so that you don't have to cancel things. You'll fly out for the interview. There's a couple parts of that. So one, there's a test. When you get there, they're going to greet you, mark you off on some list, and then sit you down with an exam. The exam is 90 questions, 30 questions each from chemistry, biology, and physics. Super basic stuff for chem and bio. Physics was not my strongest suit, so that was hard for me, but they let you bring a physics equation sheet. So basically whatever equations you think you could ever want or need, just write them all down and bring them. You do that exam, and then you'll turn it in. You'll sit there and wait. They'll call you back, and then depending on what country you're in, I've heard from some of the Canadian students, they only met with one person. For New York, when I went, I had a panel interview with 6 of the professors. They were all super nice. Beware that they're going to be speaking Polish back and forth in the background and English to you simultaneously, so heads up. But they take turns asking you questions, and it's not just an interview-based questions that you would expect. There's also a lot of actual physiology questions, hey, what's the function of the kidney? How does it work hormonally? There's just some that I got. I think they change it up depending on how you answer some of your interest questions before. Once you finish the interview, and you should have a good idea of whether or not they like you before you're even out, but they'll have you go sit in the waiting room for a couple of minutes. They'll come back, grab you, bring you back, and let you know their decision. If it's a yes, right then and there, they'll give you a paper afterwards. They'll print your acceptance letter. It's like a preemptive one that's conditional on submitting all of your requirements and meeting them all, but it's pretty cool, kind of emotional. So now, once you know that you're in, okay, I made a list of what to go over. So if you see me looking at my computer, that's what I'm doing, is checking to see that I'm covering everything. We're already at 5 minutes. Oh, God. Okay. I'm going to try to speed up a little. So if you've been accepted, a couple of things that I highly recommend you get involved in. Again, I didn't know most of this, so you can figure it out if you don't, but it'll help you greatly. Unlock your phone. If you have an iPhone and you plan on using it abroad, get your SIM lock off. That means you gotta pay off your phone, you gotta work with your carrier, make sure it is off before you leave. International plans are pretty expensive. If you've got the money to do it or your family's supporting you, by all means do it. Otherwise, be prepared to let go of your phone number. The other option is you could do like a prepaid plan, but it's like $100 a year just to keep your phone number, even though you're not using it. I got rid of mine. I got a Polish plan here. They're about 25 zloty, and that is equating to, I mean, for the money in Poland, it's just roughly divided by 4, and you're going to be close enough to estimate what the price of things are. And so it's pretty cheap for phone plans out here. You can find stuff that's cheaper. I think there's a company called like Orange or something weird. But the average is about 25 to 50 a month. So make sure you unlock your phone. Visa process. If you want to apply for a year visa before you get here so that you don't have to worry about the timeline of getting your temporary stay card, do it. If you're in Arizona or like any of the Southwest states, you have to go to LA in order to do it. I didn't because I was really strapped for time. I had 3 weeks after I'd finished, put in, like my notice and stopped my last day at work to when I was leaving. I cherished every moment of that, and so I didn't do it. I knew that. So if you get a visa, you get a whole year. If you don't get a visa, you technically have 90 days that you can stay in the country before you get kicked out. Unless, here's the fun kicker, is you can't apply for a visa once you're here, but what you can and need to do is apply for a temporary stay card. That's going to be, that'll allow you to be here for a whole year, the first one. And then when you renew it, they'll give you a 3-year temporary stay card. And that's if you pass your first year, because if you don't pass certain classes in your first year, you're actually kind of expelled from the school and you'd have to reapply, start all over again. So don't do that. Take it seriously. So temporary stay card, if you're here and you're here for the 90 days like I am, and then you apply for your temporary stay card. So like right now, I put my appointment in immediately. Make sure you do. It's in October on like the 24th, 27th, something like that. Once you submit your application, they stamp your passport so that it shows you're in progress. Therefore, you're still here legally, but you cannot leave. So if you don't get your card, you're not allowed to cross borders, go to Germany for a weekend or whatever. You can't go back home. You can't anything until they give you your temporary stay card. You could do it. You just might not be guaranteed the opportunity to come back. It really depends on the border guard. So heads up for that. So either come here, know you have 90 days, and then once you start the application process, you've got to be patient and be a little restricted. Or 2, get your visa beforehand so that way you at least have a year to do whatever you want, go home, go back, whatever, until that temporary stay card is done. If you're Canadian, I heard it takes a lot longer. United States citizens, it's a little bit less time for whatever reason. And then if you're in part of the EU, they have some sort of other thing you can do, so don't worry about it. All right, so visa process, unlock your phone, Facebook. They live, die, breathe, eat, sleep, everything, all of it, Facebook. I cannot stress it enough. There are groups you need to join before you get here if you can. One of them is PUMS Marketplace, so PUMS space Marketplace. That's basically like a Craigslist, but only for students. If you're not a student, they won't let you in. You have to fill out the questions beforehand. I recommend typing in and saying, hey, I got accepted for 2020 or whatever. I'm on my way, but I'm not there yet. They'll probably approve it. So PUMS Marketplace. Incoming class of whatever it is. I don't actually, literally just like type in PUMS and type in Poznan University Medical Sciences, but there's like PUMS incoming class 2019 or whatever it is. They're going to post a whole bunch of information about orientation and dorms and everything. You can ask past students who are still there. I mean, they have like class representatives that are part of it, so they can answer questions for you in there. It's not just your class. And then they'll have like an official group that's like advanced, at least for us, it's like advanced 4-year MD, 4MD something group. So like there's legitimately 3 groups that if you're not a part of, like something's a problem. If you're living in the dorms, there's another one for your dorms. So there's literally like PUMS dorms, Karolek, DS something. So get connected with whoever's helping you at the university. Ask them which Facebook groups to join, or literally just start Googling it. You're gonna find them. I can mention them specifically in a later video for anyone who's curious if you can't find them. So Facebook. It seems ridiculous, but even professors use them. They're like, oh, here's the Facebook group for this class, and this is the only way I communicate. Don't email me, I won't get it. And you're like, what year is it? That was rude, I'm sorry. Okay, so once you get here, here's some of the things that I've done or learned that were super helpful. Get a bank right away. What you actually should do is there's something called Transferwise. If you can start setting that up beforehand, it'll be good because you've got to verify a couple things. So you need either a utility bill with your name and address on it, or you can do a phone bill. I think there's a couple other options of what you can use to verify your account. But Transferwise is, by and large, what I've heard, the cheapest way to transfer money from the U.S. to anywhere else, but specifically here to Poland, with the best, oh gosh, words are hard, transfer rate? I don't know if that's actually it right now. But basically, they're not going to take a huge chunk out when you switch from dollars to zloty, so it saves you a bunch of money there. If you send wire transfers, you're usually paying at least a minimum of like $5 to $35 based on your bank in the U.S., and then you're probably going to end up paying like 1% of whatever you send as well to the bank that you're transferring it to, just to process it. Same thing with cashier's checks. I don't know about traveler's checks. I didn't buy one because I was cheap. I brought a cashier's check. I'm sending it home because it's not worth it. So Transferwise. When you get here, set up a bank. There's like 100 options. They're all really good. If they ask you for a TIN number, it's a social security number. In the U.S., if you're not a business and you are a citizen, you have an SSN. You can use that for everything. TINs are really for only people who aren't citizens who need it for tax purposes, or for businesses again. So it's very confusing because a lot of banks will push you. So if they ask for a TIN, don't even say, oh, I have social. No, just give them the number. It's the same format. You will know. It's not confusing. Once you get a bank set up here, you should be good to go there. I went with Santander. There's a bank right close to the campus. There's an employee who goes by the name of Andre, and he speaks fluent English, French, Polish, and I think like 1 or 2 other languages. So he's great. Talks really fast, heads up, but fabulous. You're welcome, Andre. He won't see this. Phone plan. Okay, phone plans. You can go to any carrier here. I think they even have like T-Mobile and a couple like normal ones that are here. Or not normal. I'm sorry, that's rude also. U.S. companies that are here. I went with Plus, which is like plus, Plus. There's a bunch of different plans you can pick. I think I mentioned it earlier, but there's something called like Orange, I think, or Orange something Orange. I think is a lot cheaper. One of my friends has it. She mentioned it. Her and her husband are on it, and it's ridiculously cheap. Groceries. All right, so get used to never being able to get everything you want from one store pretty much ever. The store that I go to the most, which is probably the most reasonable, is Biedronka, Biedronka, something like that. I might have messed it up. It means ladybug. You'll see a ladybug on it. They're really cheap, but every store is different and offers different things. Some of them are big, some of them are tiny. It just depends on where you're at. There's also Żabka, which is like our 7-Elevens. So you can get pretty good deals there. It's not too bad. And then there's something, it's Peter and Paul, but in Polish, and I can't say it right, so I'm not going to totally butcher it. Foreigners call it P&P. It's kind of like our version of Sprouts. So you'll find more like spices and specialty items and a lot healthier items sometimes. But it's going to cost you a little bit more. And then there's probably like, I don't know, 6 other really good stores you can get groceries at around here. I just don't know them all yet. It's been a week. I'm not great yet. We're playing this by ear. So groceries. When you get on campus during your first week, so there's a couple things you need to get. There's a histology book you're going to need. It's a workbook. You don't have to get the workbook. You can get a plain notebook. You might have to get it made at the copy shop because getting notebooks with plain paper is really hard, and lined paper is almost impossible. They do not sell college ruled paper, let alone 3-hole punch college ruled paper. You've got graphing paper as an option, or plain copy paper like from a printer. It's pretty much it. It's really weird. That was probably the strangest thing I've seen so far. So heads up on that. But you'll need either the histology workbook, which you should be able to find cheaper somewhere if you look for it. If you get it at the book sale, they charge you 60 Z's, which will be like, again, divided by 4. So I paid like $16 once everything was said and done, which kind of stunk. I didn't care because it's cheaper than everything in the U.S. anyways, but heads up. You'll also need colored pencils. So if you have them at home, bring them. It's easy. A white lab coat and a dissecting kit. I haven't got my dissecting kit yet because anatomy is not starting for a while. So take your time on that, unless it's on your schedule or later they change something. But they'll tell you specifically what items you need in it, and then you can order it online if you don't like the one they have at the book sale. Your textbooks. So you're gonna need an anatomy atlas, which the one I have is from my incredible coworkers, and it's awesome. I'm gonna show it to you. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Okay, so I got an editor, and this is for anybody who knows me that doesn't know this already. I've worked for Dignity Health for 4 years in Arizona, and my last position with them was as a senior physician recruiter, which was the most rewarding chapter of my career ever. And I've worked with some incredible physicians and incredible clinicians and administrators that I respect and value so much. Not only has it been super rewarding, but it was inspirational and kind of is a huge part as to why I'm here. But what they did is when I put in my notice, instead of giving me a quick, swift kick in the butt, they bought me an atlas. Dr. Bethencourt, thank you. Sorry, I don't know if you like that I'm saying your name, but it's done. And they all went through and signed it, so kind of like a yearbook style. And so like in the front section of the book and then also in the back section, they went through and left like little love notes, which is super inspirational. And one person in particular who won't be named also added to my index with some new words and made notes in my book. Some are appropriate, some of them are less appropriate. They're all funny jokes, but you know, I don't want to offend anybody, so we'll leave it at that. So you'll need an atlas. You'll also need an anatomy textbook. Your atlas you take with you to every class. So there's a couple options with every book that you have here. I heard from classmen, students, whatever, that you have to take your atlas with you to every anatomy lab. Mine's really heavy. It's going to stink, but it's sentimental, so I'm going to do it. If you don't already have one and you're not set on like a hardcover fancy one, you can either get a paperback one, and then some people will cut them and like tape them and secure them so that they're only taking the fraction that they need. Some people, what is hugely popular here, so before you spend a bunch of money on books, is people have the PDF of a lot of textbooks, and so you can go pay the store like, it's 140 Z's, so what is that? I'm really bad at simple math, I'm sorry guys. Like 35, 40 bucks, something like that. You can pay and have them print a PDF of a textbook for you to use instead of having to go buy one. And you can get them bound and stuff if you really want to. Otherwise, if you like to tear it apart and only take certain chapters, it works really well. I'm going to do that with probably a large majority of my stuff, or just read it as a PDF. A lot of people I've heard, I don't have an iPad, I didn't think that far in advance, and buying any sort of Apple product here is very expensive, so don't do it. But if you were to like use an iPad or something or get the PDFs on there, sometimes it's a really convenient way to like have your atlas with you while you're with the cadavers and stuff like that. Probably easier to clean too. Don't get ripped off at the book sale. Sometimes they're selling really good books that they really don't need anymore, truly, and sometimes they're selling what didn't work for them. Ask around during your first week before Saturday comes around, because you'll have a good idea what you need. I would say probably err on the side of caution and get less than what you need, unless you're, I don't know. I don't even know, unless you're something. Whatever, do what you want. Okay, health insurance, you'll have to get when you're here. They explain how to do it at orientation, and upperclassmen will be able to help you with that. But you'll need to get health insurance before your appointment for your temporary stay. So as soon as you get here, make the appointment with, I think it's with the Polish consulate. I may be wrong, I don't know. I did it online. I had someone help me, so oops. But make your appointment for your temporary stay application, and then after your appointment's made, start gathering all your materials, because the appointments are going to go really fast, and then you're going to be pushed out to October, November, December. It's going to get real awkward. You won't be here on a visa. You can't travel. It's really sad. We don't want to do that. So make sure you get that taken care of. And then to compile everything, I mean, again, they'll let you know during orientation. They do a great job during orientation of teaching you what you need to do and by when and what's legal and what's not. So I don't think I have to go into that too much. What else? Water. Okay, so water fountains don't exist here. Heads up. That's really hard for an Arizonian who drinks like a gallon of water a day, give or take, is now drinking a lot less because it's super inconvenient. So I've, mineral water is everywhere. I hate mineral water. I don't like sparkling water. I think it's gross. Flavored is kind of okay. Don't send me hate mail, especially you who like hint of lime flavored LaCroix. That. I buy them in giant, whatever these are, 5-liter containers of water, and I get the one that says like no gas in Polish, because I can't say that yet, but yeah, nope, not gonna do it. Give me like another couple weeks of Polish or something, and then maybe I'll learn it. Oy, my light went off. So water tastes kind of funny if you're used to what you taste in the States. I feel like that it definitely has a distinct flavor. You'll get used to it. It hurt me. It hurt my soul really bad. Not a fan. What else? They have Ikea. It's really not that bad. Everyone talks about it being expensive. You just have to be smart. Look around and you'll see like, okay, these knives, yeah, are really expensive. And then you'll turn around and there's something just as cheap as what you would expect, if not cheaper than the US. When you get here to the dorms, either bring your own sheets or plan on buying them quickly because the sheets they have are not comfortable. It's really nice that they'll give you sheets if you need them. They'll also give you a lamp, sheets, pillow. Supposed to have an Ethernet cable. I didn't. There's a broom in the room. Just like really random things that they'll stock for you, which is really helpful. But like plates and cups and everything, all that you're gonna need to get yourself. When you get to the rooms, the Wi-Fi is free in your dorms if you stay in the dorms. They're also the cheapest option ever. It's like $250, I think, a month, like US dollars-ish. And over the summer, if you're leaving to go back home for your first summer, which is like the only summer you can actually leave, the other ones you're always doing something, but that first summer, they're gonna give you discounted rent by half if you're not here. Just let them know, make sure you let them know in advance, otherwise they can't help you. But if you get a router when you first get here, or if you bring one with you, I guess, you plug it in, boom, you got Wi-Fi. You don't have to worry about paying for that every month. They give you a phone. I don't know who I'd call, and I don't know if it works outside of this building, and I just don't care. That sounded rude, I'm sorry. Adapters, make sure you get an adapter and a converter. If you only get an adapter, you'll blow things like your hair straightener that you've had since 8th grade because you put it into something that says dual voltage, not realizing that means it's not converting it. It's really sad. Hey, shout out to Apple. So again, don't buy anything here. If you need like a laptop or if you need an iPad, try to have someone buy it and send it to you even. But Holy Toledo, they are lifesavers. All their stuff is like cool with the higher voltage, so you can just use an adapter and be fine. That was really, really exciting to find out. There's a lot of malls nearby for shopping. So if you need to get anywhere, they've got a tram. You can, oh God, I don't know how to pronounce everything in Polish. It's really, really hard language. It's very intimidating if you don't learn it. So try to watch some videos on like basics before you get here, because then it maybe won't be as overwhelming as it's been for me. But there's an app. It's like JACKTOJADE, Yakto Yade or something like that. It basically has all the tram schedules and like public transportation, the cost, and then once you have a bank account here, there's a BLIC number, so you can pay for. You can even put in your student like discount, because we get half off of all of our tram rides if you have your ID. But you can click that you're a student, and then you can pay for it through the app, so that you don't actually have to go get like a tram card and like keep reloading it, which is really cool. Otherwise, you can get a tram card if you bring your student ID. They'll swipe it, you'll be good to go, and then you can take that with you to travel everywhere. Okay, now here's some of the not so fun stuff, and hopefully they'll understand and not get mad at me for saying this, but I'm gonna say it. This school, I'm saving a lot of money for being here. The professors so far are super knowledgeable, really friendly. The classes are great. The content's awesome. They're using the right textbooks. They don't strive to go out of their way to prep you for like the USMLE or anything like that, but you have the resources if you look for them here to do really, really well. You have more power in your hands to do it, and so no one's going to push you to do well. You got to do it yourself. So if you're somebody who's like a self-starter and like you have the initiative, you're probably going to do great. Talk to me in like 3 months. This might change. But if not, this is going to be a lot harder for you, because you've got to take the bull by the horns and like kind of manage your own everything. During the application process, after the application process, through everything and forever, keep track of everything. Make copies of everything you send people. Save emails of you sending things. There's a lot of disorganization that you're going to see, because there's very few people doing a lot of things, and just stuff goes crazy. We didn't get our schedule until the day before classes. Our schedule changed. The location of the buildings was different, so we went to the wrong place. Student ID cards were supposed to be ready Friday. Half of us are getting them now this Tuesday. The other half, they're going to be emailed separately. If you've taken statistics, you talk to the person helping you with your application and you say, I want a biostatistics exemption. You tell them that, and you get your exemption before you get here, because if you wait till you're here, all the students are trying to do it, so they won't make you take it again, because it's like not one of like the core classes, and it's just statistics. So if you've done it, you know the content, they're going to give you credit. You just have to show your transcript and get the course syllabus from where you took it, give it to them and say you want an exemption, and then they should help you process that. Way, way, way easier to do when you're gone, before you get here, because you can't call people to be like, hey, Grand Canyon University, I need documents. I had to email my advisor and ask for help because I forgot my password, and it's harder to reset if you don't call GCU tech support. So that. What else? So yeah, it's gonna be super disorganized. Things aren't gonna go the way that you plan them. If you're type A, it's gonna be really painful. You have to kind of have like a go with the flow attitude, as well as like grab a bull by the horns attitude, and like be the person who takes care of things when no one's doing it for you, but also like be understanding, know that they're human. Don't be awful, don't be mean. It could be so much worse. I think a lot of students lose sight of that. We have a really, really cool class, but it gets frustrating, so just know that it's going to be that way. Be prepared, and then calm down. You're going to figure it out. Alright, so now here's the last part. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, because I looked everywhere to try to see the dorms online before I got here, and I couldn't, and I was really mad, because I wanted to know what I was getting myself into, because, you know, I'm 27, and in a dorm with a roommate. She's also probably going to kill me, because I'm going to show her side just briefly. But mine, I finally went to Ikea, so it's kind of decorated, and it's cute, so I'm going to show it to you. So, how do I do this? I don't think I can spin that around. I'm not tech savvy enough yet. I'll figure it out. We're going to go to the front. So when you first come in, there's the main entrance door, and then you have like a section for storage. You have like a little safe that they put in there, and there's some drawers, and then there's shelving units. There's the broom you get for free. So fancy. So then little shelves or whatever. This is really terrible. I couldn't make a worse angle if I tried. This is your kitchen. There's like nil amounts of storage, because you have to be like 18 feet tall to reach that. Those are fine, but they're small. And then we have a bunch of stuff on our counter. They have a little fridge. Boo. Ooh, alcohol is not allowed in the dorms. Duly noted. Little trash can. I don't know. I'm not going to show you the trash. That was weird. I'm sorry. Okay. I just got a shelving unit from Ikea in here, so it's empty, but it won't be. A little towel rack, which is cute. They get the little radiator towel warmer thing that I've never used before. Get a toilet. All basic stuff. The showers are tiny. There's no bathtub. Heads up. It's small, but it's what it is. It's like $207. I'm not mad. All right, and then I'm really excited about this. This makes my soul happy. So I have my little memory wall with like the world's cutest nieces you've ever seen in your life, and some cool love notes from friends and family. Then I got these cute deer. Oh dear. Some Polaroids. A note from Allie. Wait, I can't there we go. Boom. Allie Lewis. Okay, I needed some color, because apparently it's going to get really dark and sad here. And then look, it's fuzzy. You should expect nothing less from this video. Then you are foot to foot or head to head or head to foot, whatever you want to do with your roommate. We got windows. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, I'm going to show you about the windows in a second. 2 desks. You need a fan. If you're from the States and you're not used to like Florida-like weather, and you get here in the summer, get a fan. It's ridiculously humid. I'm still dealing with the whole Celsius Fahrenheit thing. I should know how to convert it. I don't. You got some more storage over there. Those are all shelves. Those are shelves. There's a little bit of hanging space in that, but obviously not a whole lot. All right, now here's the coolest part about Poland so far. Not really, but you know, I still think this is brilliant, and I think that they should do this in the States. Hold on, I'm prepping this. Okay, this is a window. I forgot how to say window in Polish, otherwise I would. It's like, oh, never mind, forget it. Okay, no. All right. See this handle? This means, oh, okay, never mind. I'm sorry, hold on. I'm crazy. If it is down, it means that it's locked. You try to open it, nothing's happening, right? I'm staring at the wrong part of my phone. I thought the camera's on that side. It's not. There we go. Is that better? Okay, if it's down, it means that it's locked. If it is up, they actually open from the top, and so it cracks a little bit so you can get some air in here, but it's not overwhelming. And then if it storms or something, you're not going to rain and flood your apartment house dorm thing. But you turn to the side, it opens. So pretty stinking cool. They got construction going on outside of Karolek, sorry. And so I'm not shutting these. This is great. It's fine. That construction is not going anywhere. So if you're in Karolek, you can side that's not by the construction. I really don't care. I'm not a morning person, so for me it's great because it means that I'll actually wake up at like 6 or 7 when they start working. So that's pretty good. Jet lag is real. If you sleep deprive, words are hard. If you deprive yourself of sleep before you get here, then you sleep really well the first night, at least my experience, and then I woke up the next day feeling just fine. I just made sure to like stay active enough to be awake, and then I made sure that I literally got up 8 hours after I fell asleep when I was exhausted and worked out. We are now at half an hour. I should be studying for biochem because we have a test tomorrow already. Started Monday. Quiz is on Thursday. Your first class, it used to be on the first class, but they switched it. So you get one class of biochem. They tell you you're going to have one, and then you have a quiz. It's like an entrance quiz, but it counts for points, so heads up. I think that's everything helpful I could think about this process. If you're going through this and this matters, if you're a student, if you're a friend or family, just send me a message. I'm on social media all the time. If you have an iPhone, I can still iMessage. It's just with my email address. If you don't have that, reach out to me. I'll give it to you. If this is a stranger who is actually contemplating this and you have any questions, hopefully at this point it's posted somewhere public where you can comment. I will respond. I want to help you. Anybody who's thinking about doing this, through all of the crazy disorganization and the nightmares that we've had in the last week, because there's been a few of them, I am still so excited to be here, and I think it's going to be one of the most enriching experiences of my life. The people are incredible. If you're wondering about the distribution of class, we're probably looking at, I want to say like 50% of our class is Canadian. I did not expect that. Maybe like 30 or 20% American, and we're talking like all over the U.S. Like we have somebody from, I think, Michigan, one from California, 2 from Arizona, me and one of our friends. His name is Tad. I don't know if people are going to care that I'm using their names, but if they get mad, whatever. And then a huge group from Taiwan, like almost a quarter of our students, I feel like. There were some Norwegians, but I don't know if they're our class or if they're part of the 6MD program. I think that's the 6MD deal. So there's a 4MD and then there's a 6MD. If you haven't done your prereqs and stuff like that, you'll go through the 6MD. If you have, you could do the 4-year advanced MD program, which is more like what it is in the States. We're a lot more, it's about the same information, just way faster. So like exams are on Saturdays, just heads up. But it's awesome. If you start to pick up the language, it's really, really cool. It's really hard. They have a lot of noises. There's like a different sh sound depending on the word and the feeling of the minute. I don't know, whatever. They made a joke and they're like if you say fresh, there's sh, but then there's also cheese, like ch. So like sh and ch are 2 different noises. They're distinct, and that's not even all of them. There's more of them. And then for your personal enjoyment, because it's going to be terrible, and why not embarrass myself at the end of a video, we've learned a couple of words. So żabka, spelled Z-A-B-K-A, not a fan of the fact that letters and words that don't sound the way you expect them to if you're an English speaker, means frog, like I mentioned before. So any W you see, for the most part, sounds like a V. There's another one of those that's like just flipped. If it's an L with a line through it, it's a W. Which I'm like, why can't a W be a W and the L with the thing be a V? But it's whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's cool. It's fine. J's are Y's. So if you see M-O-J, it's like Moy, I think. I might be saying that wrong too, but it's a Y. I just don't know if that's how it's pronounced. So if you say hi to somebody, you say dzień dobry. Another thing about Polish is if you enunciate really clearly, they know you're foreign. The way that they speak properly is like mumbled. So you'd be like, dzień dobry. Like you just like throw it all together, and then they're gonna know you're American until you like are fluent or semi-fluent. But still, just know that the more you enunciate, the more they're gonna know you're kind of silly, but it's okay. So dzień dobry is like, hey, like, how are you? But it's more formal. You say that to strangers and people who are a little bit older, professors especially. If you're saying hi to somebody that like you're friends with, I'm gonna mess this up. I don't know why I struggle with this so much. Cześć. I think that's actually right. Notice how there's like a ch at the end of it. So it's like cześć. It's necessary. Don't just say like cześć. It's not a thing. Cześć. It's like, hey. What's really cool, since especially my name is Shammy, if you say Shema, it's like, hey, what's up? You say it to like friends, people your age, younger kids, they should be fine. What else? Numbers are really hard. One is, oh my gosh, really? Jeden. Jeden is one. Dwa is two. Three is, I don't know. It starts with a CH and it's hard. There's a lot of numbers. They're very difficult. You do take Polish as part of your curriculum. It's one of those show up, participate, try really hard, and you're going to be fine. It's not like super crazy as far as like grading and things. She's really lenient. At least our professor is on like helping you and being understanding about like spelling issues and like this being really hard. They just want to see that you're there, you're engaged, you're having a good time, and you're trying at learning this language. It's really, honestly, a beautiful language. It's just really hard for someone who speaks English, who expects it to be like English. Just throw that out of your mind. Try to think of a couple other words I can say before I end this video that is now way too long. I swear I know some, not a whole lot. Oh, dziękuję. Actually, dziękuję is like the way that you'll hear it said, like with an E instead of a like a. So dziękuję is thank you. Pan means man, pani means woman. So if you say like dziękuję pan, it's like a really formal, nice way to say like thank you, sir. And dziękuję pani, same thing but for a woman. You don't really hear it too much. There's also a shortened version, so if you want to say thanks instead of thank you, you just say dzięki. Kind of cute. Not to be confused with the American version of the word dzięki. Voda is water. Vodka is still vodka, in case you're curious. I think that's all we got for today. I really should know more. Oh, you know what? Fun fact, because we just learned this literally 3 hours ago in class. So if you're pronouncing a word in Polish and there are multiple syllables, which should be the case with everything, they always have an accent on every word. For us, I feel like it falls more towards the front of the word, or the end of the word. For them, it's the second to the last syllable, regardless of what the word is. So like voda, which is just water, you would say voda would be the proper way because you're putting the emphasis on the second to last syllable, which happens to be the first one in this case. If you had a longer word, like Biedronka, it's Biedronka. You're putting the like emphasis on that second syllable because it's the second to last. So that's kind of cool. All right. Yeah. So this is embarrassing enough. I don't know if anyone's going to watch this. If you have questions, let me know. If you don't, have a great day. Till next time.